This is Talk 650.
This is Talk 650.
Powered by CBS Radio.
Summer's always a big time for us because so many people are out of work in general, and with the heat, the families come in. So our Women and Family Shelter downtown on Dowling always experiences some extra load, 30, 40 on the floor at night typically. In
that's because it's coolest down
there. But in
there.
the last few weeks, we've seen as many as 106 sleeping on the floor in our atrium each night.
Really?
Facility's completely full. So we have extra staff in place, extra volunteers, extra child care. It is quite a load for a 250-person facility to take on another 100-plus people every day.
And you depend upon the goodness of Houstonians, of your neighbors, to operate this facility year in, year out. How is this affecting the budget for what you had planned for this summer?
Well, Brent, we made the choice to go ahead and serve all these people and not turn them away. So we've spent a lot of extra money, and we're sitting $700,000 in the hole right now. That deficit's been developing since April, and a lot's going on in our economy, which we all understand.
You mean you can't print more money?
Well,
that's the answer up in Washington.
That would be
we'll
amazing.
Just print more money.
We could just print some more money. But so we are needing some help financially at this time to help serve. But our goal is to serve the homeless in Houston, and there are many faces that you and I would recognize. They're not just the folks on the street corners that you see every day. There are lots of families. Star of Hope serves 1,000 people a day, and 2/3 of those are children and family members, women and family.
There is no more generous city than Houston, Texas. People don't realize that homelessness is not seasonal. You know, we get most of our generosity thrust upon us by the Houstonians around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, the holidays. November, December, everybody. It's an ingrained thing. You want to give. You want to do something nice and warm and fuzzy. And also, that's the time of the year where businessmen are looking to write checks so that they can have write-offs. So, you know, we are in pretty good shape usually November, December. But guess what? It's the summertime when we need it the most, when we have more kids, we have more people trying to escape the heat, more kids who are out of school that need to escape the heat. That's when we have the biggest need, and traditionally, that's when we have the lowest donations. Add to that the fact that we have a bad economy. So it's a perfect storm which has created a crisis.
Food donations are always acceptable and desired. Obviously, we're serving 1,000 people a day meals, now 1,100 a day on some days. And so 3 meals a day, that adds up really fast. So food donations, good clothing in good condition is always appreciated because folks need new clothing when they come to see us. These are people in our community who've lost their ability to maintain independent housing. So they come to us when they've exhausted every other option. And so they just have the clothes on their back many times, or maybe a black garbage bag with the clothing and belongings of their children. So.
And you just set up a neat deal with the texting. How does that work, Scott?
It's a great deal. If you want to do something, you are listening right now, and you say, I want to do something right now. Pick out your phone and text.
Well, pull over first. Pull over.
Pull over. Safely. Safely. Text SOH to 20222. Now, we have had quite a number of hits over the last 24 hours because of this. TV stations, radio stations have been telling us about, inviting folks to do so. And it's great. Now, it's a $10 gift, and it's nice. And I would say that knowing the generosity of Houstonians, just make that an initial gift. You know, don't make that what you do for Star of Hope. If you can dig down deep, give us $10 now because, boy, every dollar, every dime helps. But then consider maybe the next couple of weeks or so, look at your bank accounts and say, okay, maybe I can give them $100 or maybe I can give them $50. Because if you've ever passed by a homeless person, that's just the tip of the iceberg, somebody on the street. What you don't see is the families that live in cars, the families that live in abandoned buildings. What you don't see is the families who, during the school year, have been living with relatives and friends, and now that the school year is over, they are asked to leave, so they are on the streets. What you don't see are the people who have been living for the last couple of months in apartments without electricity and just getting by, but now that we're into almost triple digits on a regular business day, you know, on a regular basis, they can't stand the heat anymore, and they're out on the streets. This is what you don't see, and this is what we need to help with. We need to support this because this, you know, we're talking about a minimum of 10,000 homeless men, women, and children in the city at any given time. And there's about 5,000 beds set aside within all the agencies to help these people. There are 1,200 of those beds that are for emergency care. and half of those beds belong to Star of Hope, and all of those beds are full.